Welcome back to, or welcome to, not welcome back, just welcome. I was in Walmart tonight with the kiddos. And I know Walmart, but I don't want to talk about Walmart right now, maybe later. We were at Walmart. We were behind a lady who was there with her kids. She didn't speak any English, it didn't seem. Her daughter was translating for her, and she was using an EBT card. I don't know if that's nationwide EBT. Is that nationwide? Yes. Food stamps, basically, right? She was using a food stamps card. And the lady working the register didn't know how to process it. So there was a line backing up. It was getting crazy. I could feel the tension. I could feel the embarrassment of the lady in front of me, and I could hear murmurings behind me. And it got me thinking, as I am wont to do, about all the things I read and hear about people living off the government and the welfare state and people wanting a handout and all this stuff. And I just wanted to say, and I don't want to be super preachy, because I actually was a pastor, so I actually have preached, and I don't know, I don't want to be preachy, but it just got me thinking about this one thing, that I'm curious how we would treat each other, and maybe more specifically, how we would treat, or how would we treat people who need help. If every time we go to form an opinion about those individuals, or every time we go to speak about them, or every time we go to post on Facebook about the things going on in our country, if we thought first about a moment or all the moments in our lives when we needed help too, I wonder if that would soften our hearts a little bit. I can hear you right now in my head. I know what you're saying. Yes, there are people who abuse the system, sure. Yes, there are folks who are probably lazy. They probably should get a job. And Paul says you should work or you don't eat. I get it. Paul says other things too that we're not afraid to gloss over though, right? Paul says it's better not to get married. We get married all the time. So I don't know. I've needed help. Joe, you've needed help before. I need help all the time with all kinds of things. And my life is short, or as long as it is compared to however old you might be. I've received help from my family. I've received help from friends. I've received help from the government. What? I have. I really have. There have been times when if I didn't get help from someone else, I would not have made it. And I'm thankful for that. And I'm not... Here's the thing. I could just as easily as you, and you know who you are, judge folks who get help. Just as easily as you judge them, I could judge you. And I could say, oh, you're being judgmental. Well, in that moment, I'm being judgmental. Right? Man. So I don't want to judge anybody. I just want to say that it might not be the worst thing in the world to remember where we've been when we talk about and think about and act out towards people and where they are now. Can I get an amen? Maybe not, huh? You might be like, no. You can cut that a little bit out, but that was funny. That made me laugh. So I had actually something else I wanted to talk about tonight. I wanted to talk about, well, I won't give it all away, but I was thinking about how I used to believe certain things. Let's say some theological things that I've shifted a bit on. Things related to soteriology, 10 points. Sometimes some things related to eschatology, 7 points, and some other stuff. And I was going to talk about the progression, not really the progression, but what I've learned from changing my mind. Well, maybe we'll talk about that next time. But let me remind you, though, please, 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 I would love for you to say, hey, Stephen, or hey, don't trust this man. What about this? What about that whole thing with the thing? Maybe I'll talk about it. I'd like to have a conversation with you guys. That's been one of the most fun things I've ever done in all my travel. So I think as we say it here at the Don't Trust This Man family, comment your feels and give us suggestions. We'll talk about it. Or we'll take it under consideration to talk about it. Until then, be well. I think I'm done. I'm going to need some tea. I'm going to need some tea in my mouth. Oh, drink some tea. Get on, drink some tea.